Okay, so what we have going on right now is this is our 5-gallon bucket. Filled it up with just some tap water out of the hose, and we've got our pantyhose filled with worm castings in here. As you can see, we've got a clothespin right here. I got some good ones now that work actually, and at the bottom there we've got one more clothespin. It's kind of hard to see. Let's doing a flashlight. I don't know. I put it in there, and it's just so dark instantly. These castings are they have such a rich color to them as soon as I put it in there. But so I've got one of the legs of the pantyhose filled with worm castings, and I've got, I don't know if you can see it right in there. That is an antler, some sort of a bone that a buddy of mine gave me for decoration, and I use it to hold down the worm castings. I thought it'd be heavier. It's not, but if you can see, it's like an antler. And what that does, it's holding down my air tube, which, as you can see right here, you're thinking, well, it's black. All the air tubes I see are clear, you know, going to this pump. Well, what I did was, instead of spending a whole bunch of money, well, I did it, kind of figured it out both ways. I saved about $10 or so. This is what I would have had to buy: an air stone right here, 25 feet of the air hose tubing, the connectors, the T's, they come in a set of 2, and the pump. Well, okay, so I buy the pump anyways. I save on my T's because I have some at home in my irrigation supply. This air tube is actually the same size as the drip tubing that we use in the yard in the landscape. And this bubble wand, or bubble stone, I can make the same thing out of some adjustable drip head emitters. Let me show you what I did and show you the savings. So here's what I did on mine. I needed 2 clothespins right here, 2 of these adjustable emitters, little drip heads, and a T. And like I said, I was able to use this. It fit perfectly on my pump, same size as this tubing. I was looking to see if they gave a size, and they didn't, but I just eyeballed it there, and it's perfect match. I don't know if it comes through too good. Yeah, there you go. But so that's the perfect size right there. And so what I had to do, buy the pump anyways. I had 2 clothespins, I had the emitter heads, I had my T, and I had this drip line. And so I figured, well, I'm going to take all this stuff back. I did the math. It was about, I don't know, $10 or so, because this way I can do 2 buckets. I know the pump says you can do up to 3 different features. I'm just going to run 2, but so I need another stone. That's almost $3. The T's, like I said, they come in a package of 2, so they're almost $2, and then this is almost $4. So what I did, let me show you real quick on this pump. I tried it a number of ways, but what I found works the best is to get your line about as long, just as long as you get it at this connection here on the pump, and that it's long enough to sit at the bottom of this. So stretch it out to the bottom, right to there. It should be fine. And then what I did was, let me get my T here. So I would put my T on here. Let me see if I could set the camera down and show you. So I had the T right here, and I'll just connect it to my drip line. Okay, and then I have 2 equally the same size pieces of drip line with those adjustable emitter heads, and just simply put them on either side of the T, one on each side. And then, because I found if you have them spaced too far apart, one of them tends to get all the air, and the other one just does nothing. So let's see if I can get that. So basically I have a T, and they're about, I don't know, 2 inches long, this piece of drip line here. And so this is going to, where we go, this is going to sit in there in the bucket, and I have a clothespin like right here onto the pantyhose, because that's another cheap thing to do. Most people, I don't know, I'm married, so but we're not messing around here. This is no nonsense here, and this is super cheap. Actually found it, you know, like I said, got a few girls in the house, so this stuff is always around. And the other secret ingredient here is good old grandma came through again for us with her molasses, unsulfured molasses, original. I found it online in a gallon size for like $20, which is a good deal, but the shipping was $19, so it made it not such a good deal. But this was, I don't know, $3 or $4, 12 ounces. It's probably going to last forever. I used 2 tablespoons. I used 2 tablespoons in there. You can see I got the dual bubbles going. The pantyhose is in there. I talked about that. So here's our worm castings. I don't know if I mentioned it. We got 2.5 pounds, 3 months of our worm compost bin, and it resulted in 2.5 pounds of castings. So what our plan is, we separate it into thirds. I took a third, just under a third, and put it in this compost tea, warm compost tea pantyhose sock, and the rest I'm going to do as top dressing. I'm going to keep some of it wet like this, and then I'm going to let some dry out, and I guess it gets like a coffee consistency once it dries out, but I don't know, you know, I've never bought it. They tell me that they sell it, you know, obviously it's dry from being in a bag, and it's still the best stuff in the world, but I think, how can you beat fresh, you know, when it's still a little wet? I would think there's more stuff alive in there. So, and then if anyone else out there knows about that question, you know, if it matters if it's dry or wet or not, and then also the molasses, you know, is it just the sugar? Is that the microbes are feeding on the sugar, or, you know, could I use honey? You know, if I can't use honey, why not? You know, I was just curious. But so yeah, there we go. I'm gonna let this brew for probably at least 24 hours, maybe 2 days. We'll see what it looks like, and then I might cut it 2.5, depending on how rich and how dark it looks. But yeah, you know what, I should show you with this bubble stone. I get the same result, the same amount of airflow, actually even more than with this single bar, which is what I would have had to just put in if I didn't use the setup that I made for free at home with the parts, you know, that I already have from doing all the just the gardening irrigation work. Let me see if I could put this camera down. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so there's our air supply. So I can take this off, and I'll attach the air stone, and then we'll put that in there, and then I'll show you what it looks like here. Okay, so that's with the air stone, and now tell me, let's put this back here, if it's more the same, if it's less when I do my own little contraption here with the tea. You can see the tea, and let's see, put that right back in there. Alright, my hands dry, and let's see. Is that like, look at this pantyhose. Look at the pantyhose in the way here. Alright. So there we go. We got our 2 right here, and then so we've got that, which is what I made. See the amount of bubbles and airflow we get there. Or air stone. I don't know. Honestly, it looks about the same, if not a tie. I don't know. This one's a little longer, but the bubbles are a lot smaller. So I don't know. I mean, a couple dollars isn't that much, but with stuff that I already have, if I can just do it, or I guess, you know, just show a different way of doing it, that's kind of cool. So, but anyways, there's mine. Again, I don't know. I'd say it's a toss-up. So, and for the money savings, hey, this wins each time. So, okay, well, we'll come back in like a day or two and see what it looks like. Alright, thanks for watching.